Salutations, readers. Welcome back to the City Go Writer channel. My name is Nkechi, and today we're starting another reading vlog. So kind of consider this particular reading vlog to be like part 2 of the previous one, because I pretty much am trying to expand upon the stuff I didn't get to from the last reading vlog to here, because, you know, it's July, what today is it? July 27th. So I want to start a new reading vlog to pretty much see if I can finish some current reads before August, because August is already going to be pretty vlog heavy as far as the TBR, because right now, you know, it's July, you know, like I said, it's July 27th. I have today, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. That's 5 days, and I'm already on day 1 already. So 5 days to read however many books I can. So my TBR is about 4 books, most because I'm only currently reading, actually that's not true, I was about to say 2, but really I'm currently reading 3 books right now, and I want to see if I can get a 4th one on there, since the 4th book is kind of short. But anyways, let me just get through the TBR, and then we'll do the reading update and all the things. So first up on the TBR, I want to finish Light from Uncommon Stars by Rika Aoki. I started this one via audio. I am not very far. I'm only like on chapter 3, like page 20. I have a long ways to go to finish this one, but I do want to finish it before the end of the month. So this is definitely going to be on there, and I will be hybrid reading it or maybe listening via audio. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this one, but I do know that audio is definitely the way to go, because I do have the audiobook borrowed from the library, and I have this one physically. So yeah, that's what the plan is there. And then I want to kind of give this other book another chance, and so far I'm already more than halfway through, which is like, dang, surprising. And that is The Whispering Dark by Kelly Andrew. Now, if you see this book around, it's because this was originally part of my summer reading TBR. I didn't get to it because physically reading it was just a pain. I was struggling to get through this book physically, so now I finally got the audiobook. So the audiobook, I'll talk to y'all about that a little bit later on what I think about the book so far. But yeah, I'm already more than halfway through, so the goal for today at least is to finish this book, and then the goal for, I think, tomorrow is to finish reading Light from Uncommon Stars. This third book, this is a book that I've been currently reading since May. Like, been on there for a good long minute. We're already nearing 3 months since this book has been said currently reading. So I gotta finish it. I just gotta finish it. It's just gonna take me a little bit longer though, since it is a longer book. It's actually the longest book on this TBR, and that book is The Spear Cuts Through Water by Simon Jimenez. This is like 5-star prediction and everything. Like I do have a chunk dent in there. I think I'm on page 145 in the middle of it. Anyways, so 145 out of like, I think 518. That's not too bad, but it's definitely not as far as I would like to be, especially since I've been currently reading it for like 3 months, but I had other priority reads and other things. So yeah, I want to finish this book before August. And I really do see myself doing that, because there's just no way. There's no way. This is 5-star prediction. I have to. I just got to finish reading this book before August 1st. And then the final book that I really do hope I get to, and actually I really want to finish it before July 31st, but we'll have to wait and see. And the book that I'm talking about is Jade Shards by Fauna Lee. This is the prequel short stories collection. This is the last thing Greenbone Saga related we're gonna get, y'all. The last thing. And I actually have the e-arc. I will be reading it on this handy dandy iPad. I'm borrowing this iPad actually from one of my siblings, so thank you to them for that, so that it is easier for me to read instead of doing it on my phone, because I just cannot. I simply cannot. But yeah, I will be reading the e-arc on this iPad, and hopefully we'll get it done on the 31st, because at least according to NetGalley, the book is published by the 31st. So yes, the goal is to get to these 3 books I have here, and also the e-arc of Jade Shards as well. But yeah, this is pretty much the TBR, and yeah, I will update y'all whenever, you know, I get more progress as well. Salutations, readers. I just want to update y'all on my little excursion to the library to show y'all some books that I got. So first up, I have The Mask of Mirrors by M.A. Carrick. This is the first book, I think, of the, what's the series called? Rook and Rose trilogy? I think that's what it's called, yes. I heard of this series because of Angela from Literature Science Alliance. It sounds interesting to me, and also it is getting a little bit more popularity here, especially since actually the third book in the series is coming out. I don't know, is it August or September? I don't know, it's coming out pretty soon, so I'm just like, let me see if I can start reading the series. I can at least read the first 2 books. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to borrow the third book from the library, but hey, you gotta start somewhere, right? So yeah, I do hope to get to it in August, not in July. This thing is way too big for me to read it in July. I do not have time for it, so not until July TBR. But then another book I also got as well is Juniper and Thorn by Ava Reed. This is Ava Reed's, I think this is a sophomore novel? I think. This is, I think, an adult gothic horror retelling of the Juniper Tree. Yes. I just want to read something by Ava Reed because I think Ava Reed's newest release, A Study in Drowning, is coming in September. It's like a YA gothic, dark, academia fantasy, and that sounded so intriguing. I really like the cover as well. I'll put the cover up here as well, just right there. And I think it's up my alley, but I've never read anything by this author. And I think A Study in Drowning, it will be Reed's YA debut, and I want to start with an adult work. And this is, I think, the only adult work I'm actively interested in. So yeah, and I'm definitely going to check out the content warnings in this one though, because I have heard that this is pretty dark. And then I also have All the White Spaces by Ali Wilkes. This is a book that was recommended to me by Jesse from Jesse on YouTube. And this one is, I think, a snow exhibition kind of thriller. It takes place in Antarctica in 1920. An isolated expedition struggles to survive on the unforgiving ice, but the harsh elements are not the only threat. Amidst the howling winds and harrowing darkness, something mysterious and deadly awaits. I think I might read this for, I don't know, this could be a potential read for the Full Moon Readathon, but hey, y'all will get all the TBR stuff for that reading vlog, and then possibly adding Juniper and Thorn as well. But yep, this is pretty much my library haul. These are books that I plan to actually actively read in August, whether it's for the Full Moon Readathon or not. These are the books. But I also kind of want to update y'all for I do want to kind of update y'all on The Whispering Dark by Kelly Andrew. I think I've made it. I mean, I'm looking at this one physically, but honestly, I literally have only been reading this thing via audio right now because, again, it's the only thing I feel interested in. But I think if I look here, yeah, I'm on part 3, so I should be about 2/3 of the way through. And I am indeed intrigued by this story. I mean, not like the story. I'm more intrigued with the paranormal fantasy elements here. I think it's the only thing that's really actively keeping my interest, because everything else, it's like fine. Like I don't think there's anything inherently bad. There's literally nothing bad with this book. Not that I've found or realized or anything so far. I'm like, there's nothing really actively bad about it. But there's nothing spectacular or thought-provoking or just even interesting. I think this is just a fun, vibey time. I mean, is it fun? No. I rescind that statement. It's just a vibey time. I don't know about fun. I wish I had more to say. I kind of wish I had more to say, but I don't know. There's definitely some pretty serious paranormal stuff. There's definitely darker elements in here. This is definitely an upper YA book because it's just darker in tone and elements, which is fine. I think the romance between Delaney and Colton is also fine. It's not irritating. Like, there's nothing that actively irritates me now that I'm listening to it via audio, which is a great sign. I appreciate that. But also, I don't really have much else to really think about. Like, there's not much for me here, to be honest. Nothing to hate on, nothing that actively irritates me or agitates me or anything like that. But there's nothing in here that makes me go, wow, this was really, really good. It's just so atmospheric. Like, I don't know. That's just really all my initial thoughts here when I'm only like 2/3 of the way through. So I don't know what I'm gonna feel about this when I finish it. But all I know is I'm on track to finish it today. So Yeah, and that's what I'm gonna do. I think I am gonna update y'all when I finish the book, because I don't know what else to say unless something out of the blue, something amazing or huge plot twist or something happens that I need to tell y'all about. Update then. Until then, I'll see y'all when I finish the book. Salutations, readers. It is Thursday still. It is 8:30 in the evening, I gotta say. And I finally finished reading The Whispering Dark by Kelly Andrew via audio. I'm not quite sure how to rate this book. To be completely honest with y'all, I don't know my rating. I'm debating on even giving it a rating, but I don't have enough thoughts to go like, yeah, no rating, so I don't know. I will just say that the audiobook has an interview from the author. So I was able to get at least a little bit more insight as to why I created this story, kind of a little bit the point of the story, because when I finished it, I had a sense like, okay, this is a story about how people handle with grief. Because even the big bad in here has to do with, like, you know, death and immortality and living, and if you're amongst the living and the dead at the same time, all that stuff. And also how that a lot of people's motivation is about preventing death for themselves or even from other people, because they either lost someone or they're about to lose someone, or even if they die themselves. That's kind of like the idea is like death and grief, which I think that's a pretty good thing to discuss, especially in a YA book. So I do commend the book and the author for that. However, for me, I just don't think it is as strong with it. This book is good for someone out there. It's just not good for me. And I'm kind of struggling if I should even give it a rating or not, because I don't want my rating to go like, oh, this is particularly a bad book. I'm like, or even just a bad book for me, because I see the merit. It's just, I personally don't have an emotional attachment to it. I don't particularly have a strong emotional attachment to characters, the theme, or even the atmosphere and the writing. But hey, I was here for the ride. I was here for the vibes. It's just not gonna get that 3 stars. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. So that's The Whispering Dark. At least I read it, and whenever the Film Book Club live show goes, you know, I'm ready for it. But yeah, I think that's enough reading for me today, because I pretty much literally was reading this book all day. But yeah, that's The Whispering Dark. So as far as what I'm going to read next, the goal is to finish reading Light from Uncommon Stars, also via audio. Maybe I can listen to some of it tonight, or maybe I just take a break and go to bed early. I don't even know what I'm doing. And this clip is already really long, so I don't know. I really don't even know. All I know is the goal is for tomorrow, which is Friday, to finish reading this. So I'll definitely update y'all tomorrow whether I finish this book or not, or I'm halfway through. I'll just let y'all know, because this is the next book. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I got for y'all. So yeah, I'll update y'all tomorrow. Salutations, readers. Today is Friday. Yes, it is Friday at probably 8-something p.m. I just want to update y'all, even though I'm not done with Life from Uncommon Stars, but I just wanted to just give a general update, because I haven't read further from the book. And also to update y'all that I'm also still playing the Switch, except that instead of doing a Clubhouse game kind of thing, I'm now doing Animal Crossing for the very first time. Yeah, I know, like, the game that's been popular since the beginning of the pandemic, and now I'm finally playing it for the first time. Late to the party, but hey, I'm having somewhat fun, I guess. I'm just still trying to get used to the world and things. But anyways, Light from Uncommon Stars. I've been listening to it via audio, and I've made it to the second part here, which is pretty much the first part is like the first 100 pages, which is honestly fine. And I have to say, I am indeed very much enjoying this. I do like the fact that we're kind of moving through perspectives, not just with our 3 main characters here, but also with some other, like, more minor characters. They get a little bit of perspective, but it's not like they have a whole chapter of their perspective. It's like we get at a chapter, and then like a singular chapter could have like move through varying perspectives, and it's very interesting. Although definitely a content warning still for child abuse, SA, Transphobia is in here. It's pretty graphic. Dead naming's in there too. But other than that, yeah, I am actually very much enjoying this. And even though right now it's like 8 something right now, I don't think I'm gonna finish this book today, which is honestly fine. I was really hoping it though, but I was having allergies last night and earlier today, so I had to get some allergy medication. And if you've ever had allergy medication, then you would know that that thing can knock you out, because it made me so drowsy. But anyways, I'm here, so I've just been listening to the audiobook of Life from Common Stars and also playing Animal Crossing at the same time, because why not? But yeah, anyways, that is pretty much it. Just want to update y'all on that. And I do hope that the next time I update y'all, I either finish the book or have some other stuff to talk about the book or something else. But yeah, I'll see y'all in my next update. Salutations, readers. Today is Saturday evening, actually. It's nearly 9 p.m. And I want to update y'all. I pretty much lied to y'all. I know I said I was going to update y'all whenever I finish Life from Uncommon Stars, but it's a lie. Because I read something else, finished something else, and started something else. So I'm going to update y'all on all of that. I read Jade Shards by Fonda Lee, thanks to this handy dandy iPad. I actually was reading it during my reading and productivity sprints that I host twice a month. Anyways, I read it. I really enjoy this one. I definitely think it's a great addition to the Greenbone Saga world, and pretty much that's the last thing we're ever going to get with these characters in this world again. And I rated it 4.5 stars. I think this is really, really good. It's not a 5-star like I really thought it was going to be. Like, this was something I literally requested like a while ago, and I was like, yes, I got it. It's going to be 5 stars. And now I'm like, okay, it's not 5 stars, but it's still really, really good though. Don't get me wrong. Despite it not being exactly 5 stars, this is still very, very good. So if you don't know, Jade Shards is a short story collection featuring characters that we knew from the Greenbone Saga world. And it has 4 short stories. It has The Witch and Her Friend, that follows Aimada and its mother. We have Not Only Blood, where we see Lon pretty much convince his grandfather, the Pillar at the time, to adopt Andon. Then we have Better Than Jade, where Hilo and Wen start their courtship before they even got married. And they have Granddaughter Camarant, where we see Shay before she left Kaikon and returned back, and all the things. I really enjoyed every single one of these short stories. Like, none of these were misses, okay? I really, really enjoyed all these short stories. I think my favorite one was Better Than Jade, but also The Witch and Her Friend was a pretty close second, to be honest. I don't know, I really actually liked seeing the beginning stages of Hilo and Wen's relationship. I thought it was really, really sweet. I really liked it. All the things were good. And also The Witch and Her Friend was so interesting because in the original trilogy, I actually don't remember much about Andon's mother besides like how she died. Because honestly, that's what she was really known for, was how she died. But I think it was really interesting to see what she was like before all of that. And I have to say, that was very, very fascinating. I think the weakest one, I don't know necessarily if anything are really weak. Because I rated this thing 4.5, so like everything was pretty good. It's actually really, really good. I think the one that was kind of a little bit on the weak side, I don't know if it was Granddaughter Camarant or Not Only Blood. One of those ones was one of the weaker ones. Even though they were still really good, but I think maybe Granddaughter Camarant. I don't know, but again, they're short stories, and the entire short story collection is 144 pages. So, not very long. Which I'm like, well, it's fine. It's short stories. You can only get so much. But hey, I still recommend it though. So yeah, that's Jade Shards. Rated that 4.5 stars. Really, really enjoyed it. And then I finally started reading this other e-arc called The Splinter in the Sky by Kemi Ashing-jiwa. I think that's how you pronounce the name. I think that's how you pronounce it. This one I also requested from a while ago. This book is actually already out. I didn't get to it before the book came out, but it's already out. It's been out since June, which is fine. But I will have to say, I think I made it to page 26. Yes. And the only thing I really knew about this one before going into it is that this is like a debut novel. It's a space opera following a young tea expert who is taken as a political prisoner and recruited to spy on government officials. A role that may empower her to win back her nation's independence. And it says here it's perfect for fans of N.K. Jemisin and Nnedi Okorafor, which is very interesting because the only thing I read the only thing I have ever read from N.K. Jemisin was was the Broken Earth trilogy, but I've only read the first two fully, and then the enough the third one. But still, I really did like N.K. Jemisin's writing style, and also I've only read one thing by Nnedi Okorafor, which was Akata Witch, which I also really enjoyed, but that was like published like a while ago. So I'm not totally sure about Nnedi Okorafor's writing style now in the adult space, since that was YA. So I don't really know if that author comparison is comparable here, because I don't think the prose is giving N.K. Jemisin to me, personally. I don't think so. At least, again, I've only read like one series from her. I know she's written other series, but for this one particular series, I don't think this one's giving N.K. Jemisin. I don't think so. Maybe it will. I just need to keep reading. And as far as Nnedi Okorafor is concerned, maybe a little bit on the writing style, but again, I've only read her YA. Only one YA book from her, so like, I don't know if this is even accurate either. But I will say, I'm at least intrigued with it. I do want to continue on reading it. I think there's only 313 pages. Now, I don't know if I will read it for this reading vlog or not, but so far, honestly, I've actually been really liking to do some e-reading, which, if you don't know, if you're new to my channel and all that stuff, I'm gonna be completely frank with y'all. E-reading is not a form of reading that I particularly gravitate towards. I prefer reading a book physically or with an audiobook. Sometimes with both in hand. That's pretty much my main way of reading a book. However, when I started reading Jade Shards and The Splinter in the Sky on here, as long as I also wear my glasses because my sibling has some brightness settings that they don't want me to move around and change, so glasses for me at least, so it doesn't strain my eyes with the blue light. But other than that, I actually pretty much enjoyed reading it with just swiping and things and then adjusting the font and stuff. At least The Splinter in the Sky, I was able to adjust the font and the margin spacing, so it actually was kind of nice to read it. So I was like, okay, maybe I should try this more often. Because if this is the case and I can just borrow my sibling's iPad every single time I got an e-arc, then like, I could probably start requesting more e-arcs, but honestly, I think I'll stick with requesting more ALCs and sparingly request e-arcs, just for myself anyways. But yeah, I will just say this was a very interesting day to just do some e-reading, and I finished reading an ebook that honestly, unheard of for myself, but hey, I learned something new. But yeah, so far I definitely recommend Jade Shards if you've read the trilogy. Like, even though Jade Shards is a prelude to Jade City, you have to read the trilogy first before you read this short story collection. Otherwise, some stuff that's been going around in here, sure, it explains it, but like, it's really deeply appreciated when you've already read the trilogy. And in fact, Jade Shards was actually dedicated to us fans of the Greenbow Saga. So like, you gotta read the series before you read the prequel short stories. Like, that's just my thing. Yeah, and as far as The Splinter in the Sky, I don't know if I'll keep reading it for this vlog or what, but I do know for sure though, I really do want to finish Life from Uncommon Stars, since the audiobook is going to be due like next week, and I don't necessarily want to bring this book over for August, but I don't know when I'm ever going to get to, I don't know when I'm going to get to The Spirit Cuts Through Water though. I really am not sure about that one. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe that will be just been hold over to August, which will really suck because that's not the plan, but we're here. But anyways, yeah, I think that's all I'm going to update y'all, and I'm not even going to promise y'all what I'm going to update y'all on, because clearly impromptu everything. Again, mood reader, so whatever happens, it happens, okay? I'll update y'all when something happens. Salutations, readers. Today is the 30th, so it's Sunday, July 30th, and I'm pretty much just here to end the vlog. Don't really have much to update y'all, honestly. I'm just here to kind of just wrap this thing up, because I actually didn't read at all today, which is another reason why I'm just here to wrap things up, because usually I'm starting to realize that like, by the time I get to the very last day or so, day and a half of the month, I tend to just either really rush through to finish some current reads, or I really just slow it down and I'm just like, there's not a book on here I'm inclined to rapidly finish before the end of the next month. I know I said in the beginning of this vlog, I think that I really wanted to finish almost all of my current reads, so that by the time I get to August, for the start of the Full Moon Readathon, I already have pretty much mostly a clean slate, with only like one exception. But here I'm going to be coming into August with 3 current reads because I'm not trying to force myself to read through these books, so I'm just not. And that's okay. And so let's just wrap things up, basically. So first up, I started the vlog with finishing The Whispering Dark by Kelly Andrew. Initially, I gave this 2.5, but I kind of went down to a 2 because it just doesn't give 2.5 to me. This was really just a 2-star read. I don't think this is a bad book, but it's just definitely not a book. It was definitely a book that just did not work for me. I try to be here for the vibe. I really try to be here for the paranormal fantasy stuff, but the paranormal fantasy elements in here really confused me to the point where I was just like, what was kind of the point of it all? And it didn't really make any sense until we got to the end. But by then it was a little too late. Actually, it was a lot too late. By the end, things started to make more sense. I was just like, really? At this point, I'm exhausted. I really am. And also, this is a book that I initially tried to read for Summerween, and then I DNF'd it physically, but then tried again via audio, and I managed to finish the book via audio. And then I read Jade Shards by Fonda Lee. This is an e-arc I got from NetGalley. Thank you to NetGalley and Subterranean Press for this e-arc, and I gave it 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed my time with it. Definitely something I'm like, if you're a Greenbow Saga fan, it is literally for you. It's for us. It's even dedicated for us as fans, and yeah, that's the whole point of it. And I truly believe it did its duty. And I also did order one of the extra copies they had available. I don't know how many extra copies they have now, but I'll link down below the website so that if any of y'all want to get one of the extra copies, it's down below. So I want to let y'all know about that. But also they do have an ebook option for anyone who's more of an e-reader. So that's actually all the books I really read. I only managed to finish 2 books. And then I continued reading Light from Uncommon Stars by Raika Aoki. I initially was reading this via audio, but I switched to the physical book not because the audiobook was bad, but because of the fact that the audiobook was due in the middle of Full Moon Readathon, and I really did not want to include this book in the Full Moon Readathon TBR. But I am kind of sad that I didn't get to read more of The Spirit Cuts Through Water by Sana Jimenez, because this is really a 5-star prediction for me. I was really hoping I was going to get through it, but I didn't manage to get through it. I didn't even touch it. I didn't get any farther than where I was before. No annotate, no nothing. I just looked at how beautiful this book is and how I'm just like, wow, it really would be nice to, finish reading this book. So this and Jade Shards by Fonda Lee are the only things I managed to finish. Which, by the way, announcement, I am no longer gonna post monthly wrap-up videos. Nada. It does not mean I will not post wrap-up videos. I will be posting them. I just won't be doing it monthly. Instead, I'm going to do bi-monthly. So if you were here for a few months, or if you're still new here, my very first wrap-up video back in like March actually was of January and February. And then my most recent wrap-up video was for May and June. So from here on out until pretty much further notice, I'm going to be filming my wrap-up videos for the course of 2 months. So for July, for all the books I read in July, y'all will not know my thoughts on them until September, because I will have the book, because in that wrap-up video that's going to come out in September, I will have all the books I read in July and the books I read in August. And that way, I don't feel like I have to pressure myself to like film my wrap-up video as soon as I can. But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much the announcement. I just want to let y'all know about that so that y'all will not be surprised whenever I don't got a wrap-up video in every single month. But anyways, I think I'm just going to definitely end it here. Thank you all for coming to this channel. If you liked it, like it, comment on your thoughts. Subscribe if you want to be notified, of when I upload or do reading sprints, all the things. Y'all know what to do. Now, if you made it this far into the video and you're not totally sure what to comment, but you want to let me know that you are here, comment down below a black heart or a purple heart emoji for The Whispering Dark. Because as much as I didn't really love this book, I do really love this cover. So a purple or black heart in honor of this book. And I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye-bye.